time for What's Burnin', presented by Bill LaCasse and SRG Financial Advisors.
Hey, welcome to What's Burnin'. Thank you so much for joining us this week. We couldn't do it without our amazing title sponsor, SRG Financial Advisor, home of the mile marker formula. And we have some other great sponsors here.
We got Ozark Barge and Dock. They've been around for 35 years. Best docks at the Lake of the Ozarks. When you can say that, you're doing something, right?
Oh, yeah. And we have our veterinary at the lake, and we have a very special Furry Friends today.
Ooh.
And we've got a couple pups on there. Hillary and Haley.
That sounds familiar. Where does that come from?
Yeah, those are the Duffs. Those are the Duff sisters.
Okay.
So they named them Hillary and Haley. And absolutely adorable pups that we're going to be talking about today.
Also on the show today, I get you and Megan to talk about how that one chip challenge went last week and the reverberations that happened later.
Oh yeah, it was a very, very hot one. Also, I'm going to be sitting down and talking with Devin Scrivner from Jetz Trampoline Park. And he's got some amazing stuff to talk about, a Ninja Warrior course.
How cool is that? And then William will sit down with the folks from our title sponsor, SRG Financial Advisor, home of the mile marker formula, and give us some tax advice as we get ready for the new year. So that ought to be good.
Absolutely. So we have more What's Burnin' right after the break.
While the financial services industry for years has focused on products, pricing, and performance, or things we refer to at SRG as the how, our focus for our clients has always been around their why. And without fail, over all these years, those whys have centered around family, occupation, and recreation. Think legacy issues, retirement, or achieving a work optional lifestyle, and checking off those important things on that recreational bucket list. Our foundational approach remains a focus on the things that matter most to our clients and the things that together we can control. And where those two things overlap, that's where we live and work every day. That's SRG Financial and the Mile Marker Formula.
Want a dock that will withstand the wake from a million boats? Want a dock that's different from the usual dock? Then you want Ozark Barge and Dock in Gravois Mills. Ozark Barge and Dock now celebrating 35 years of building the best dock on Lake of the Ozarks. And we guarantee every dock we build. So when it comes time to build your custom dock, trust the best and go with Ozark Barge and Dock, building the best dock at the lake for the last 35 years.
Want to get to know local leaders better? Join Lake TV for the COMC Community Spotlight Show weekdays at 9:02 a.m., 3:02 and 7:02 p.m. Chris Schneider talks with local leaders to find out more about them and their organizations. It's the COMC Community Spotlight Show on Lake TV.
There's a new radio station at the lake, a radio station that's geared towards the community, a radio station where you can have a hand in what we do. Welcome to Key Radio, a community-based radio station that invites you to be a part of the solution. We encourage you to become a content creator. That's right, you provide the content. Listen in at 89.3 or online at keyradio.live. To find out more about becoming a content creator, call 573-280-0532.
If it's happening at the lake, it's happening on Lake TV. From the Polar Plunge to festivals parades, Aquapalooza, and boat shows, Lake TV has it all. Even the granddaddy of them all, the shootouts. If you're looking for places to party, things to do, or even a new home to move into, you've gotta love Lake TV.
Hey, and welcome back to What's Burning. We have a very special guest today. This is Devin Scrivner, and Devin owns the Jetz Trampoline Park in Osage Beach, Missouri. And I'm excited about having you on today because my first experience at a trampoline park, my daughter was quite young, and it was, you know, when you'd start seeing a few trampoline parks in different towns. So we had to go out of town. We had to drive an hour and a half away. So I'm so thankful for all the parents that there's a trampoline park right here in our neck of the woods. But she said, Dad, I want to do a birthday party at a trampoline park. And I thought, why not? I love to jump on trampolines. So I should have stretched a little bit more because we went down, we spent like 2.5 hours doing the trampoline, having a great time. And the next morning, I was a little sore.
Yeah. We've had a lot of dads that say that the next morning after jumping is the hard day.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the Jetz Trampoline Park and what someone could experience if they just walked in the front door.
Okay, so Jetz Trampoline Park is, I would say, just a scaled down version of what you normally see at a trampoline park. Okay. So we have a little bit less space because of where we're located in the middle of Osage Beach. There's not a lot of real estate, but the space that we do have is maximized with flat trampolines, the vertical trampolines, a foam pit. We have 2 Ninja Warrior courses, and there are constantly on a Saturday birthday parties going on and groups coming in, and then just individuals, like you said, walking in and just going for it.
Oh yeah.
Between the trampolines and the arcade games and the birthday parties, it is a lot of fun inside there.
Oh, I bet so. I bet so. If you've ever walked into a trampoline park, it really is. It's just, there's just a party going on in every square inch. You look over here and someone's dunking a basketball, someone's jumping into the foam pit over here. So It is just a really cool thing. And now you also do discounts for groups. So if someone did want to have a birthday or a team building exercises or something, take them to the trampoline park.
Yeah, so groups over 30, or if like you have a corporate event, we love having corporate people at our trampoline park. And just like you said, it can be team building. We've had people come in and just do like a meeting or a state of the company address in our floor space, and then afterward, it's like the trampolines are already there. You can just put the socks on and start jumping.
Yeah,
exactly. And like you said, even you as a father with your daughter, you're not going to pass up an opportunity to hop on a trampoline,
no way.
even when you should have.
Yeah, I maybe should have that night. Or someone should have at least said, hey, Kyle, you might want to really stretch out before you just hop. Because I just thought, oh, it's trampoline, and you're having so much fun, you don't realize the workout that you're getting.
Yeah.
It really is. It's like, it's a great thing. You go and you have a great time. You're not working out, but you're working out.
Oh, yeah.
You're burning calories. You're just playing with the kids. Like, I think it's a fun thing.
NASA has said that it's one of the best forms of exercise you can get.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you just making this up?
No, NASA has said, I'd have to look at the study, but something about rebounding exercises being the most energy consuming or time efficient way to exercise.
You heard it right here from Devin. And if NASA says it, did you read it on the internet?
Yes, it was NASA's site, but it was on the internet, so, might have been one of those fake NASA things, you know how they do.
Oh, yeah. So now you also have something really neat there at Jetz Trampoline Park. You have 2 Ninja Warrior courses.
Yes. So
these are like some pretty like hard-hitting kind of course things to go through. Like, tell us what's the, let's say my level of the ninja course. Well, my level would just be walking through the front door.
Okay.
But let's say that, like, if you get to the ninja, the first level of the ninja.
If you don't pull a groin while walking to the ninja warrior course.
Yeah, then, okay. All right, here we go. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, so we have 2 of them. One is closer to the door. The, I would say, more beginner level one is further back. And it's, got the lily pads, these little things that you jump back and forth in between with foam below so you don't fall and hurt yourself. Some bags that you swing on. There's a rock wall, just a long jump, just a pit with blocks in it that it's like, try to jump across, see if you can.
Oh, nice.
A ladder that is pivoting, so you go up one side and then it like drops you on the other side.
Oh, that sounds fun.
And that's just the beginner one. I would call expert, not intermediate, because it is pretty difficult, has the ropes, swinging handholds where like a ball this big is all you have to hold your body weight as you go across this inclining and descending monkey bar spot.
Yeah, that's not for me.
Well, no, I've seen you do it so many times.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I remember last time you came in there and you were just
ninja warrioring over there.
Yes, doing the pull-ups.
probably would not have been me. Now, here's my question. Do you have people that just come in and go, hey, I like to do this as a workout than going to a gym, so I'm going to come and do the Ninja Warrior workout?
Yes, so there's a gentleman who goes to our gym that is in the same building. It's a whole separate business, but he is a member of our gym, and he goes to the trampoline park as his warm-up.
Really?
So he goes in there and doesn't do the Ninja Warrior course per se, but he does the tricks, flips, just getting his body loosened and warmed up. And his warm-ups would be my absolute most advanced level of skill you'd ever see on a trampoline.
I'd be there just not able to warm up with him sweating going,
exactly.
Is it break time? And
this guy's an absolute
we're not
animal.
Even started yet.
And he comes in and I'm like, do you do gymnastics? Do you, like, what kind of team are you on? And he's like, oh no, this is just my warm-up. What does that mean for the rest of us? Because I warm up by, let me do a little of this and come across here. But no, he was doing 360 backward somersaults and,
Wow.
Insane.
Wow, now that's impressive. So I would assume at these birthday parties, you have your Ninja Warrior stuff all set up on one side of the Jetz trampoline park. And I could picture at, a 3-year-old's birthday party, you have all the dads standing around going, I can do that. That's pretty easy. Does that happen quite a bit?
Yes. And more often than not, it's that exact, like how you leaned back a little bit. It's that stance, and a lot of times the arm is crossed.
You gotta look kind of out the corner of the eye.
Exactly.
I
don't want to look at it exactly because if I do, it'll run away scared. But if it's not going to run away scared, I could do that honestly with my pinkies.
Oh, okay.
Like back in the day, I could do that with my pinky. Not anymore. I don't know. The doctor says I've got cholesterol and heart issues, but. Before I tore my pinky toe, I could really climb up and down those steps.
Yeah, sometimes that's how it happens. So do these guys, do they challenge each other and then end up going, all right, how much does it cost for your Ninja Warrior? Us 3 guys, we would pay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we do see a lot of dads that come in and initially it's like, is the whole family jumping? Or we'll ask them something like that. Oh, no, just the little ones. And then they get inside.
Yep.
And if it's especially a dad and some male member of that family, they come back about 20 minutes later and say, how much would it cost to add us on to the jump passes? Can we get on the trampolines? You sure can.
Absolutely. Man, it's always a fun time at Jetz Trampoline Park. Where are you guys located?
We are at 1075 Passover Road in Osage Beach, or 1075 Passover Road. You can also find us at jetztrampolinepark.com. It does have a Z. I didn't choose the name. It's just been there, but it's Jetz with a Z, trampolinepark.com.
Well, Devin, thank you so much for coming in. So again, there's party packages there. There's group discounts. Another thing that you guys are doing are digital gift cards. So even if someone is out of state and they, maybe have some grandkids or something that live at Lake of the Ozarks, you could actually get online and get them digital gift cards for Christmas or birthdays or mitzvahs or
we
anything.
had several people do it this year already where they just go online, and it's super easy. Like you said, for a grandparent out of state, I just talked to one yesterday who's in Kansas.
Oh, yeah.
Got family that lives down here, obviously, and she's like, can I get a gift card, and do I have to be there to pick it up? I'm like, no, just buy our digital one. We'll send it right to your email.
That is great.
Easy as pie.
That's awesome. Well, Devin, thank you so much for coming in and
pleasure.
hanging out
Always
here.
a pleasure seeing you.
So, Jetz Trampoline Park, Osage Beach. Go visit them. Always a fun time there. And we have more What's Burnin' coming up.
While the financial services industry for years has focused on products, pricing, and performance, or things we refer to at SRG as the how, our focus for our clients has always been around their why. And without fail, over all these years, those whys have centered around family, occupation, and recreation. Think legacy issues, retirement, or achieving a work-optional lifestyle, and checking off those important things on that recreational bucket list. Our foundational approach remains a focus on the things that matter most to our clients and the things that together we can control. And where those two things overlap, that's where we live and work every day. That's SRG Financial and the mile marker formula.
for a cup of coffee with Will and Chris. Enjoy local stories, local sports, taste the lake, hometown heroes, and more. Have a cup of coffee with Will and Chris, weekdays at 8:02 a.m., 102 and 8:02 p.m. on Lake TV.
There's a new radio station at the lake, a radio station that's geared towards the community, a radio station where you can have a hand in what we do. Welcome to Key Radio, a community-based radio station that invites you to be a part of the solution. We encourage you to become a content creator. That's right, you provide the content. Listen in at 89.3 or online at keyradio.live. To find out more about becoming a content creator, call 573-280-0532.
If you love the lake, you gotta love Lake TV.
Your furry friends are more than pets, they're family, and at our veterinary, we understand that. With multiple locations, we can service your pets when and where you need it. Our team of professionals offer routine wellness, orthopedic care from broken bones to joint repair, and even emergency services. We are ready to welcome your pet to our family with medical or preventative care. Our veterinary, with 6 convenient locations, the team providing exceptional care for your pet when and where you need it.
Winter, spring, summer, or fall, Lake TV's got it all. We think it's hot stuff when things cool down. We spring into action when things start warming up. Of course, summer is one big, huge shootout on Lake TV. And we fall in love all over again when autumn rolls around. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, Lake TV's got it all.
Hello and welcome back to What's Burning. Last week, right here on the show, we did this one chip challenge, the Packy Hot Chip. And all this week I've been having people ask me about, hey, you know, I watched that challenge. You did pretty good. How was it? And so we're here to discuss the aftermath of the one chip challenge, like when the cameras shut off. Mm-hmm. That was when things really got quite interesting last week.
So now before the camera shut off, we saw Will run down the hallway and lose it, right?
Yeah.
And apparently he lost it more than once.
Yeah, so he, it was seconds after we, finished recording. And so he just runs out, and if you got to watch the online version, when we posted it, I included that, because it was just too hilarious, because he was just out of here. And so he, got out of his system, or so he thought. And then he was dealing with a little bit of indigestion, ran down to Dollar General, was going to buy some Pepto-Bismol. It was just going to be fine, right?
Yeah.
Apparently, while he was in Dollar General, he threw up there, too.
Ooh, not good.
Hey, you got to check that passport off of all the places you've done. So for me, doing the challenge really wasn't that bad. Like when everything that we had on camera, I knew it was going to be hot, it was hot. Mm-hmm. I knew I would probably sweat, and I did some sweating. I knew I probably couldn't catch my breath and maybe have some runny nose. All of that happened. It was exactly, I was reading what to expect, tongue takeover. Sure, we had that shocked the senses. Started sweating, surge of tears. Yeah, and at the end, there's a 4 and 5, and it's jolt to the gut, and voltage overload. Now, I walked out of here last week going, we did it.
You handled it so well.
I don't even need a drink.
You were talking through the whole thing. Seriously, it was like this was just a Tuesday for you.
They don't know what they're talking about. 4 and 5 must have just skipped right over me.
Right?
Yeah, that was until about 20 minutes up the road. I'm driving along. Everything is just fantastic. I'm like, boy, I did it. I'm doing all right. And then my belly started going, that's not a good idea. You should not have done that.
Really?
And then I started just breaking out in sweats and shaking.
Oh no.
So I got to my gig. I was doing a Christmas gig. I got to my DJ gig, and I'm just shaking and sweating. I haven't even started unloading the vehicle. Like, it wasn't like I could even, blame it on, all this equipment's heavy. That's why I'm sweating. So I'm just like shaking. I go inside, and the manager was like, can I do something for you? And I was like, I need some water and a washcloth. And so, I ended, and she thought that she was gonna have to call the hospital and, have the ambulance take me out. She's like, are you okay? And later she said, you turned absolute white. I thought you were dying. And I go,
no.
I did it to myself. That's all I could say, but I couldn't talk anymore.
She has no idea why.
And she's like,
what have you done to yourself?
You did to yourself? Because I'm there just sweating and shaking and stuff. And so I'm like, I did it to myself. It was the one chip challenge. And she goes, I don't know what a one chip challenge is.
She thinks you lost your mind on top of it.
At this point, she was like, I should call somebody. And so I was like, okay, it was this one chip challenge, and it's the hottest chip in the world. And I did it, and now I'm very much regretting it, is what I said. And she goes, oh, and then she just starts laughing, and then she couldn't stop laughing.
Oh, no.
But it took about 20 minutes after that. I got a little water in and got the wet washcloth, and then I was okay.
So you came back to normal? You were all right after that?
No, not really even normal. I can't say, it was until I went to bed that night, but the whole night was still just like,
oh man.
Yep, wasn't a good idea. I don't know if I felt normal until the next day. When I woke up the next day, I was like, okay, I'm fine. But that whole time, it was like...
You handled it during the show so well, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, it's hot, but no big deal. But then it hit you later.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was the 4 and 5. I feel like that should be capitalized. Real, bold, get ready.
Should be a
4 and
warning,
5,
don't plan on doing anything for the rest of the day.
That's exactly what they should have put in there. But you know what we get to do? We get to at least hold this up.
Oh, snap.
We
did. We did it.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, you also get a free bag of chips.
Oh, yeah. Just in case
a whole
you didn't
bag of those.
Who would want that?
Yeah.
It's the milder kind.
After all of that, why don't you run to the store and get another bag?
Yeah.
Try it again.
So how did you handle it? Did you handle it okay?
So while we were filming, I remember I said, I feel like I swallowed a bowling ball.
Because I remember him said so. He said something like bowling ball.
Because it was it just hit your stomach like a rock at some point. So initially, my first mistake was I breathed in when I took a bite, and so I sucked in all that molten powder into my throat. It was awful. So I couldn't breathe, I couldn't talk. I just had to try to maintain. And I usually, when I watch things like this, I see people gag, and I'm like, why do you gag over hot stuff? That's weird. Who does that? I started gagging, and I was like, okay, I get it now.
At one point, I looked at you during the challenge, and you just had this worried look of, where's the nearest trash can? And I said, are you okay?
Focus.
And you went, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. And I remember thinking, I'm in the direct,
I know.
I've got to step back or something.
But I didn't while we were recording.
So we've all checked that off our list.
Yeah, so it kind of just leveled out and then mellowed out, and then it wasn't so bad. Your face goes numb, and then you feel like you're fine. And so just went about my day. So my job after recording was to edit the thing. So I'm in my office and I'm editing away and I'm laughing as I'm watching the footage because it was hilarious. I'm just having a great time. And then you described, you start sweating.
Yeah.
You get it was like a cold sweat. I was a little shaky. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh no, what's about to happen? And then it felt like just really bad heartburn. And so I was just trying to drink things, try to keep it at bay, but I just couldn't do it. I eventually had to go to the bathroom and expel the demon.
Oh,
These are all flashbacks.
But I felt great after it was out of my system.
I'm sweating just hearing you guys talk
I'm
about
sweating
it, man.
remembering that.
One-time thing, never
man.
going to do it again.
Wow. Okay.
I've checked it off the list. Anything once, and I did it.
There you go. Well, I was glad I didn't, just watching you guys do it. I was really glad I was laughing on the other side of the camera.
Yeah, and you'll never believe us if we're like, oh, it's not that bad.
No.
Come on, Uncle Chris, you could do it. It's not that
it
bad.
was that bad.
Yeah, it was that bad.
So now, and Kyle is going on vacation, right?
Yep,
You're going
absolutely.
to Europe. So when he comes back in a few weeks, you're going to bring some pictures with you.
Absolutely. We'll have some pictures. We'll have some videos. We're visiting our exchange student in Germany, her and her family. So I'm very excited because I've never had the opportunity just to wake up one morning and go to another country and have lunch or something and do some shopping and then come back. And so we're going to be doing quite a bit of that and a lot of traveling around, and I'll be ordering some beer. That's I think apparently the only word that I need to know.
Yeah.
For me, she's learning all the German, and I just have to say beer. So that's which I'm not even sure if I'm saying it right, but I think that they'll know what I'm wanting. But no, we're gonna have a fantastic time and travel around and hopefully bring all of that back and share it with all of you. Stick with us. After the break, will be talking with our title sponsors, SRG Financial Advisors.
While the financial services industry for years has focused on products, pricing, and performance, or things we refer to at SRG as the how, our focus for our clients has always been around their why. And without fail, over all these years, those whys have centered around family, occupation, and recreation. Think legacy issues, retirement, or achieving a work-optional lifestyle, and checking off those important things on that recreational bucket list. Our foundational approach remains a focus on the things that matter most to our clients and the things that together we can control. And where those two things overlap, that's where we live and work every day. That's SRG Financial and the mile marker formula.
Join Lake TV every Tuesday and Friday evening at 8:30 for the Lake TV Classic Game of the Week. You'll see some of the greatest games featuring the Lakers, Indians, Mustangs, Tigers, and Pintos from over the years. Join us Tuesday and Friday evening for the Lake TV Classic Game of the Week.
Want a dock that will withstand the wake from a million boats? Want a dock that's different from the usual dock? Then you want Ozark Barge and Dock in Gravois Mills. Ozark Barge and Dock now celebrating 35 years of building the best dock on Lake of the Ozarks. And we guarantee every dock we build. So when it comes time to build your custom dock, trust the best and go with Ozark Barge and Dock, building the best dock at the lake for the last 35 years.
There's a new radio station at the lake, a radio station that's geared towards the community, a radio station where you can have a hand in what we do. Welcome to Key Radio, a community-based radio station that invites you to be a part of the solution. We encourage you to become a content creator. That's right, you provide the content. Listen in at 89.3 or online at keyradio.live. To find out more about becoming a content creator, call 573-280-0532.
Your furry friends are more than pets, they're family, and at our veterinary, we understand that. With multiple locations, we can service your pets when and where you need it. Our team of professionals offer routine wellness, orthopedic care from broken bones to joint repair, and even emergency services. We are ready to welcome your pet to our family with medical or preventative care. Our veterinary, with 6 convenient locations, the team providing exceptional care for your pet when and where you need it.
If you like local high school sports, Lake TV is the place to be. We bring you live high school football games in the fall, along with a high school football coaches show. In the winter, Lake TV brings you live high school basketball and the high school basketball coaches show. Tune into Lake TV for local high school sports, featuring the Indians, Mustangs, Tigers, Lakers, and Pintos. If you like local high school sports, Lake TV is the place to be. Oh, you got to join us for Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show this week. We've got Professor Jim Paisley with us. Everybody thinks he's lived a life of ease because he's a professor, but there's so much more to his life. So we'll get that. We'll find out about his book and how long his family's been here at the lake, all of that, so much more. COMC's Community Spotlight Show on Lake TV.
Back on What's Burning right here on Lake TV, and finally starting to recover. I'm not so sure that Megan and DJ Kyle were as honest before you guys came on about how much they struggled. They really struggled with that one chip challenge. But as we move forward, it's Christmas season, and we have our good friends Bill and Genise LaCasse joining us from SRG Financial Advisors. And before we even get into it, I want to find out, you guys got big plans this year for Christmas?
You know, we usually go up to St. Louis and visit between Christmas and New Year's, but on Christmas Day we'll probably stay at home and try to enjoy it.
Yeah. Together, without
Together.
all the crazy and busyness.
Right.
Exactly right.
Kind of hide.
Yeah, that sounds
Enjoy
lovely.
Christmas as it should be.
I might hijack, but I don't want to intrude, you know.
You
that
just come
sounds,
on
You know,
over.
you're
sounds
welcome as the
great.
flowers in May.
Yep.
You just come anytime you
I
want.
love it. I love it. All right, so talking about some of that busyness and that stress, that tends to be a consistent for everyone this time of year.
Oh, yeah.
And so one of the things I wanted to field was tax season. You know, by November, December, and absolutely by January and February, you're really starting to think, okay, we're getting close. But I've learned, being, you know, client of the firm, SRG Financial Advisors, for a couple of years, there's actually ways that you can plan throughout the year and make it so much easier. And so, Genise, you're really the tax expert on the team at SRG. And so talk to us about, as you get into December, and some of these things you may not be able to do this year, but what are some of the things that people should be thinking this time of year?
So, again, we've only got about 2.5 weeks left in the year. So some of the year-end things you either have to really hurry up and get done, or at least consider doing, and then make sure for next year that you've got these things in place. One of them is taking required minimum distributions. If you are over 72 years old and you have an IRA account, the IRS requires you to take required minimum distributions. And if you do not take those distributions, it is a 50% penalty. So it's one of the steepest penalties that the IRS has if you do not take those, because Uncle Sam's wanting his share of taxes are due on those accounts. So you want to make sure that you're taking all your required minimum distributions for the end of the year. If you can still max out any 401ks by the end of the year, that's a
good
great tax benefit.
Yeah.
You can take up to $20,500. You can contribute into a 401k, or if you're 50 years or older, you can do $27,000. So you certainly want to max out those contributions. You want to maybe consider some Roth, either contributions or Roth conversions. If your income is so high that you can't contribute to a Roth, you can take your traditional IRA money and convert it to a Roth, and that's a great
It is,
tax.
and it's also a great time in the fact that the stock market is down. So as you're converting those assets, why not convert at a lower price over to a Roth IRA? Then when it grows back, that's growing back tax-free. So there's a lot of advantage in doing that. Kind of what she said, though, that it's kind of a bad time of the year. We're only with just a short time left. All of a sudden now we have to look at the idea, can the company that you need to do this with, can they physically get that done? And you're kind of running up against the wall. But these are ideas that carry over
into
every
next year for sure.
Yeah,
definitely.
And we've also found that, you know, Genise was able to straighten out my financial life. She's been able to straighten out your financial life.
It's true, 100%.
She's a pro at this.
Well, I don't
you
know about that, but thank you both.
Well,
But he's not kidding. I mean,
Right.
you really
Yes.
are. And for me, over the years, it's always been, oh my goodness, it's end of the year, so I know in January I'm going to have to start doing this. Well, then January's done, and I haven't started this.
Right.
So now, being with you guys for a little bit, Genise already got me looking at 24. Like we're handling 22. This is what we're going to be doing for 23, for 24. Right. And it's like, how did you get me thinking like this? How did you do this? It's wild. But there's a lot of these things that people just don't have that understanding and that knowledge. Right. And so for you guys, what would be the best course for them maybe to have their portfolio and their situation maybe looked over? How can they do that with you guys as far as just a consultation?
Talk to them about the RMDs a little bit as far as using those for charitable.
Right. One thing that is I don't see a whole lot of people doing, and it's a great tax way to help offset taxes on your money, is it's called a qualified charitable distribution. Now this is only good for people that are over 70 and a half. Of course, the required minimum distribution starts at 72, but you can start doing this at age 70 and a half. And what you do is if you're charitable minded, you can have your RMD or any amount up to $100,000 out of your IRA sent directly from your IRA to your charity, and so your charity's getting the benefit, and it is not taxable to you, however much you
yeah, that gives you the opportunity, since the standard deduction has gotten pretty high, a lot of people aren't qualifying for being able to get any kind of relief or itemized when they're passing money to that charity. So, they're taking money, like for example, if they're taking RMDs, they're paying taxes on that money as they receive it. And then when they give money to their charity, they're giving that money to the charity after they've paid taxes and aren't getting any benefit for doing that. Where if you do it the way that Genise suggested, you can kind of bypass that. You don't end up paying the tax on that.
Right.
A lot of people think that you can only pass on what the required minimum distribution is, but like she said, you can go up to $100,000. And you can divide that up amongst charities. There's even on the investment side, we sometimes direct people towards using what's called a donor advised fund, where you can take, like say for example, it's time to get the deduction, so you move. Let's just pretend and say $100,000 is an easy distribution for you, and you pass that on to the donor advised fund. That gives you the ability to have the tax deduction immediately. Right. Then you can take your time sending that money out of the donor advised fund as to all the different charities that you might want to receive that. So this is a great time of the year to sit down and not only do some tax planning, but some charitable planning at the same time.
Very good.
Our charities need their money too.
Yeah, there's no doubt, and especially in this community, with the poverty levels. Hey, now another thing I wanted to touch on is, I noticed for us and for so many people like us that this time of the year also brings financial stress because of the Christmas season.
Oh, yeah.
And you feel the pressure because you want to get that nice thing, and maybe you'll put some additional charges on a card you shouldn't, or so what would be some advice that you guys give maybe some of your clients or some of your friends when it comes to the Christmas season, whether it be saving up or shopping year round? Are there things that the consumer or middle average income American can do to take some of that Christmas stress away?
Well, do it within your means.
Yeah.
That's my biggest advice, is don't overextend just to give this lavish present to somebody who won't even remember 6 months from now that you did that, and then you're paying on a credit card now for a whole year on that present that's either been used up or is gone, or not that it's not appreciated, but and of course, start a savings account. Start a savings account in January and say that I'm putting
Christmas club or something.
I'm putting so much money into this account every month, and then when November comes and you need to start shopping for Christmas, then you have a little bit of a nest egg to start working with.
You know what kind of a statistic nut I am? I love looking at statistics on everything. After Cyber Monday this year, one of the statistics that came out that kind of startled me was that 78% of the people that bought things on Cyber Monday had put it in some sort of an extended payment plan, either 90 days, same as cash, or those types of things. That's a staggering number. 78. I mean, Cyber Monday's become huge,
Right.
And I mean, it's like it eclipses Black Friday now.
That topic's going to be for a whole nother sit down. Is the concept in this country that you can have whatever you want, even if you can't afford it, is so backwards. But I know something that we started to do that Unique saw online was we now shop year round.
Yeah.
So right after Christmas, you see some really cool, those like box sets of Under Armour and different stuff. Well, those go like 70 to 80% off, so we'll grab a few. And then in our pantry, there's boxes. We just buy a couple things for the kids throughout the year.
Sure.
Man, we got into it early
If you
this
have
December.
the control to not give it to them throughout the year.
But we try to be real frugal and clearance
Right.
items. And so when we got those 2 bins down in early this month, we couldn't believe how many gifts we had already
Isn't that
gotten.
awesome? Yes.
And
Great
so
idea.
it
Great
took away
idea.
70% of what we
Of the
thought our budget
worry
was going to
of-
be.
Right.
It was already gone.
Nice.
And so I realized you don't think of those smaller purchases throughout the year.
Right.
So that's been impactful for us. And I also think, like you said, start some kind of like Christmas cash and savings, knowing
Right.
we want to do nice things for people at
Exactly.
Christmas time.
Exactly.
Well, if you're willing to make payments on a credit card, make yourself payments into a savings account.
To yourself, essentially, right?
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
100%.
Right.
All right, end of year. Listen, I know you guys are so busy, so I'm not going to tell anybody to call you guys right now. But for people that are watching this and they're like, you know what, I really need to get a sit down with Bill and Genise. I've been hearing them on the radio. I've been, seeing them on What's Burnin' the last couple of years. I've seen them on different segments. I want to meet them and find out if maybe they could help me. How can they plug in?
They can call us at 573-302-7212. They can reach out to us on our website, www.srgfinancialadvisors.com. And we would love to sit down and help anybody that is looking for some help.
We've always said if you're a nice person, we have no problem working with anybody.
Right.
And they'll even make exceptions and work with a guy like me. But I will say, no joking, this is not a paid endorsement. My life has been so much better since you guys came into my life. So thank you for taking a lot of the stress and headache and things that I was spinning my wheels doing all those hours to take them away. So thank you for making my life easier. And I promise that's available for you guys out there watching too. So give our friends Bill and Genise a call. That's going to do it for this week's show, or actually this segment. We'll be right back on What's Burnin' after this.
While the financial services industry for years has focused on products, pricing, and performance, or things we refer to at SRG as the how, our focus for our clients has always been around their why. And without fail, over all these years, those whys have centered around family, occupation, and recreation. Think legacy issues, retirement, or achieving a work optional lifestyle, and checking off those important things on that recreational bucket list. Our foundational approach remains a focus on the things that matter most to our clients and the things that together we can control. And where those two things overlap, that's where we live and work every day. That's SRG Financial and the mile marker formula.
Want a dock that will withstand the wake from a million boats? Want a dock that's different from the usual dock? Then you want Ozark Barge and Dock in Gravois Mills. Ozark Barge and Dock now celebrating 35 years of building the best dock on Lake of the Ozarks. And we guarantee every dock we build. So when it comes time to build your custom dock, trust the best and go with Ozark Barge and Dock, building the best dock at the lake for the last 35 years.
friends are more than pets, they're family, and at our veterinary, we understand that. With multiple locations, we can service your pets when and where you need it. Our team of professionals offer routine wellness, orthopedic care from broken bones to joint repair, and even emergency services. We are ready to welcome your pet to our family with medical or preventative care. Our veterinary, with 6 convenient locations, the team providing exceptional care for your pet when and where you need it.
Everyone knows you can watch Lake TV at the lake, but you can take it with you when you go, too. Watch Lake TV anywhere on Roku or streaming live at mylaketv.com. Hey, it's Uncle Chris along with Wild William, and we got a great cup of coffee this week for you.
How about nightly rentals in the city of Lake Ozark? They on, they off?
Yeah, I know a lot of pros and cons there, and you will talk with Mayor Newberry about all of that.
Plus, At Niagara's Inn debuted Friday, really good results.
A really special hometown hero for us this week.
And 12 days of Christmas giveaways on this week's Cup of Coffee.
Welcome to another Furry Friends presented by our veterinary. I'm Megan Albers here with Mary Meow Me Tilly. We have 2 very sweet dogs. One's a little shy, but once she warms up to you, she's great. They are on leashes, hanging out, being chill for a specific reason.
Yep, because they just got spayed a few days
Yes.
ago, and so they still have fairly fresh incisions, so we didn't want to take them out in the side yard and have them
Yes.
running around out there and getting too rowdy.
Yeah.
So today we have Haley, Haley and Hillary. Hillary is the darker colored one of the
Okay.
2. She's a little more outgoing. Haley is a little more shy. It takes a little bit of time for her to warm up, but you actually had her taking treats out of your hand a while ago.
I
so
did, yes.
that was, didn't take that long.
No.
A pretty good start there.
Takes a
very
very
food
short time.
motivated.
Yes. I mean, same.
So we have them estimated to be about 7 months old.
Okay.
Healer Shepherd mixes. We have absolutely no history on these 2 at all, because what happened was one morning the team got here to work and somebody had dumped them in our play yard overnight.
Oh, no.
Which is a big no-no. Big no-no. Don't do
that's a
that.
bad
Don't ever
thing.
do that.
Don't do that.
But yeah, so we had no choice but to find room for them that
Yeah.
we didn't really have, but we made room and made it work. And so now we've got these 2 sweet girls, and they just got fixed, so hopefully they'll be able to find a home in the next couple of weeks or
Yeah.
so before Christmas, and find a home for the holidays.
Yeah. Now, talk a little bit about why it's a bad thing to just drop off a dog or a cat.
So partly because we have absolutely no knowledge on their history.
Yeah.
Don't know anything about them. We don't know if they've ever had any shots. If an animal has any kind of bite history or anything like that. Fortunately, with the puppies, probably not going to be a problem. But we have had people drop adult dogs off in the yard before in the past. One of the big things is that because we don't know anything about these dogs, every dog that comes into us goes in quarantine first, and that happens for a reason.
Yeah.
It's to keep them safe, because if they haven't had any vaccines, then they're susceptible to disease. And it's to keep our other animals safe, because we don't know what they may have been exposed to out there. So basically, by somebody, dropping these dogs in our yard, they have contaminated that whole yard.
Yeah.
We don't know what they might have spread up there, whether it be, an intestinal parasite like coccidia, or if they had been exposed to parvo and been fortunate enough not to pop with it themselves,
Yeah.
But some dogs are carriers. We just have no idea.
Yeah. So if somebody does come across a dog, or they're in the situation of needing to surrender their animal, what's the proper way to go about that?
Call first.
Call first. Yes.
Don't just show up,
Yeah.
because with our facility, we do the best we can, but we are very small. And with everybody needing to go into quarantine first, we only have 7 kennels in our quarantine building.
Yeah.
Our front building is a lot bigger. But the only time an animal can come in and go straight to the front, it would be like if it's an owner surrender that we have impeccable vet records on, and we know that this dog is up to date on shots and vaccinated and all that. Otherwise everybody goes back in queue.
Yeah.
And there's very limited space back there.
Yeah, and I feel like there's some shame for people tied to having to surrender an animal. Whether finances, people have medical conditions pop up. There's a lot of different reasons to need to surrender your pet.
Right.
And I would encourage you to not feel shame around that, because you're doing the best that you can for that animal. Choosing to place them with you guys is the best option. And so I feel like people might drop off because they feel shame. So
that is definitely a possibility, or perhaps they did call and they were told we were full. If somebody calls here and if we are full, or based on the information they gave us that we can't take this dog in, we always hand out a resource list. And it covers everywhere from the Kansas City over to the St. Louis area.
Yeah.
It's by no means is it everybody in the state, but it's places that we've worked with that we trust to send an animal to. And we encourage them, I always tell them, call these places, and if they can't help you, ask them if they have a list, because maybe they've worked with places that we haven't had the opportunity yet. Hopefully somebody can, find some room, make some room. But there is, I think you're right. I think there is a stigma attached to surrendering your animal, whether it be, you can't financially afford it anymore, or you're moving, you can't find a place that you can take it. But we try our best to work and help you find a place. And another thing that happened, with these two dogs being dumped and we didn't have the room, we have a very long waiting list.
Yeah.
And by having to make room for these two, that pushed everybody on that waiting list back, even further. So, just a bad situation all around.
Yeah.
But
so call first.
Definitely.
Number one.
Never just show up at a
Yes.
shelter with an animal.
Yeah.
Because especially around here, and especially this year, this has been a horrible year for shelters and rescues all over the country. Everybody is packed. Everybody is overwhelmed. And if you just show up, it breaks our hearts, because we have to tell you, we can't help right now.
Yeah. It's a hard thing, but like we said, call first. We are getting close to Christmas time, and you guys aren't just a shelter. There's also a thrift store.
Yep. We have a very large thrift store on the same property as us. Everything that comes into that thrift store, all the money that is made, goes directly to the benefit of the shelter animals down here. It goes to their care, it goes to their medical, their food, paying the employees, to take care of them. And our thrift store is probably about 60 to 70% of our operating costs down here. It is, with the exception of the thrift store manager and one part-time employee, it is completely volunteer run.
Wow.
So if you're looking for a volunteer opportunity that, maybe you can't, for allergy reasons or medical reasons, can't come down here and take care of the animals themselves, you can always help the animals by volunteering at the thrift store. They always need people to help sort out donations and get everything out on the floor, get it priced, and run the register and all that. So it's a great way to help the animals out as well.
Yeah.
Lots of sales going on, lots of stuff stocked. I hear that they have tote upon tote upon tote of Christmas, that they're putting it out as fast as they make room for it. So if you're needing Christmas goodies, Christmas decorations, things like that, that's definitely one place to check out.
The place to go. If people are interested in volunteering, how do they do that?
So to volunteer at the thrift store, they would just need to go in and talk to the manager up there. Her name is Penny. Our thrift store is open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Okay.
And they take donations on those days from 10 to 3. But every once in a while, if they're a little short-handed, they might have a sign out there that says, sorry, we can't take anything this day. So if you might want to call first just to make sure if things, if you've got a carload, of stuff,
call first.
Call first.
Yes.
Yeah, just in case.
Yeah.
And then for volunteering down here at the shelter, you come in and talk to either me or our shelter manager, Angie. We've had a volunteer coordinator in the past. She is resigning from the board.
Okay.
And so Angie and I are taking over the orientations. And we do have a volunteer application on the website that they can go on and fill out. We're probably not going to turn too many people away, but we just want to know a little bit about you. You know, what are you interested in? What kind of experience do you have? So we can, you know, get you in here and find something, you know, that's the perfect fit for you.
Yeah.
And the nice thing about our organization is a lot of places that you go that you want to volunteer at, they may want you to set, come a certain day of the week, or, you know, set specific hours, that kind of thing. We don't ask that.
Yeah.
We are flexible. You know, we are happy to have somebody an hour a day or an hour a month, you know, whatever you are available and want to come in and spend some time with the fur babies.
Yeah, that's great. All right, so let's get these two sweet pups adopted if you would like to adopt them, or you just want information on anything we've talked about. You can go to ozarkscatandcanine.com. I am Megan Albers. This is Mary Meow Me Tilly. This has been another Furry Friends brought to you by our veterinary on Lake TV.
Well, that about wraps it up for another What's Burning. Again, thanks to our title sponsor, SRG Financial Advisor, home of the mile marker formula, and our good friends at our veterinary at the lake. And wasn't that a great Furry Friends?
You were there. Those must have been some cute little animals.
Such cute pups, Hillary and Haley. Hopefully we'll get them sent out to a new home this week.
Absolutely. And Ozark Barge and Dock Services, I tell you what, they build the best docks at the Lake of the Ozarks, been around for 35 years. Their greatness. We love all of our sponsors. Couldn't be here if it wasn't for them.
Yeah, absolutely. So hope you guys enjoyed the show. I had a fun time and kind of reliving those memories of that Packy one chip challenge. That's kind of brought some things back up, so I'm going to have to
give you the shakes again,
exactly.
does it? Yeah. I got a good laugh out of it. I know you guys didn't.
Of course you did.
Reliving it and everything, but I thought it was hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you for sharing. And
you're
then we got some great tax advice from SRG Financial Advisors. So thanks to them for that. And and then now you're going on vacation, right?
Yep, heading to Germany and going to be spending Christmas and New Year's there in Germany. Yeah. And also want to say thanks to Devin Scrivner. He came in today and talked about the Jetz Trampoline Park. So it was very cool to get caught up with him. That's another edition of What's Burning. Thank you so much for joining us, and God bless.